Very disturbing story now out of southwestern Ontario. A man facing charges of aggravated assault and 3 counts of assault with a weapon after he went after a Spanish-speaking family with a bat, and he was screaming and ranting about the ISIS terror group and about terrorists. Watch this.
Terrorists! We got terrorists here! We got French terrorists!
Hey, say away with me.
We got terrorists!
At one point, he seems to say, we got French terrorists here. It happened in a parking lot of a mall in the community of St. Thomas, Ontario, which is just south of London. Let's go to our bureau in London, Ontario, because we've got CTV's Sean Irvine standing by with more on this. So what happened here, Sean? What do we know?
Well, at this time, we know that about 4:30 yesterday afternoon, Todd, a family consisting of a mom, a dad, and their son and their friend went into the Elgin Mall in St. Thomas, into the parking lot, and that confrontation you've seen begins to ensue with that man in that BMW. He yells at them, calling them terrorists. He yells for that they're ISIS. He calls for people to help him. Eventually, he brings out the bat and causes injury to the man that's filming the video, is what those two folks told us today. Very disturbing incident for the city of St. Thomas, without question, and one that has national attention for sure today.
Absolutely. The family, Sean, as you know, from Colombia, been living in Canada for something like 17 years, and to go through this, how are they dealing with it? What are they saying?
Tremendously emotional. Certainly, they are very upset, Sergio, and his wife, Marie. Lots of tears and emotion. They have a 13-year-old son who is there when this happens, Todd, and he is distraught. He's disturbed by what happened. His parents, as you mentioned, are from Colombia. They fled horrible situations in Colombia to come to Canada. And their son was a great believer in Canada, did a YouTube video on diversity and believes in Canadian values, and that was shattered yesterday. His mom held his hand as he tried to sleep last night because he was so scared the man could come back, and just shattered in his Canadian beliefs tonight.
We know that the police in St. Thomas are dealing with this as racially motivated as their investigation unfolds. Sean, did anyone help them as this was going on? Do we know?
Well, we know that there were some people going in and out of the mall. Now, whether or not they could hear, certainly you think they could see. From what the family tells us, very few people came to their aid. Only a vice principal who used to teach their son came over to aid them and call police to get help. So they were disappointed in that. Tonight, St. Thomas police are pursuing this as a possible hate crime. And one officer telling me, you know, in his, I believe he said 19 or 20 years on the force, he has never seen anything like it. He hadn't himself seen the video until it started to go viral, and he just couldn't believe his eyes. And he says it's not a reflection, of course, on St. Thomas, but certainly a reflection on a sad situation that occurred yesterday in that city. Again, the man arrested, his last address is Toronto. We don't know why he was in St. Thomas yesterday, Todd.
Great to have you on, Sean. Sean Irvine joining us from our bureau in London, Ontario with the latest on this. Appreciate it.